Hello and welcome. I am Dr. Lakisha Simmons. I early retired from my full-time job at 41 years old, and I highly recommend it. I was a single mom in 2017 when I went through a divorce, and at that time I decided to get really serious about investing so that I would always be financially secure. And so that led me on this path to FIRE and financial independence, retire early. And so today I want to talk to you about a question I get all the time. Dr. Keisha, do I need a financial planner? So today I want to talk to you about if I had a financial planner or not, and if you should have a financial planner. So let's get started. All right, so one of the first things you may be asking yourself is, how soon can I retire, right? Well, I started investing in my 30s and I still early retired at age 41. That is amazing, if I have to say so myself, because it just doesn't sound logical for anyone to be able to become wealthy enough in their 40s so that they don't have to continue working if they don't want to. So obviously I'm doing this, which I love to do, sharing information about financial independence. So I guess you could kind of say I'm still active, but I don't necessarily have to work for anyone. I could live off of my investments, and that's where I want you to get to. And wouldn't that be great for you as well? All right, so many people want to do that. So first, you need to create a financial plan. What is a financial plan? So it's basically where you sit down, you think about your goals, your long-term goals and your short-term goals when it comes to money. Same way you set goals for your career or for your life, you need to set them for your money, because you need to tell your money what you want it to do. Now, you can do that with a financial planner. They'll happily sit down with you, certified, of course, certified planner. They'll sit down with you, they'll walk through your goals, and based on your goals of, say, you want to retire at 60, they'll put together a plan to say, okay, well, if you want to retire at 60, this is the amount of money we suggest that you save each month or invest each month, and here may be the funds we recommend, etc., etc. Well, I suggest that you create your own plan. And the reason I say that is because I had a financial planner. And guess what? It didn't work out. And I had to fire that financial planner. The reason why I fired that particular financial planner is because he wasn't concerned about me or my goals or what I wanted to do. Not only that, he wasn't at all concerned about me learning about the investments. I think that's very important. If you work with a financial planner, work with someone who you know has your best interest at heart and they're willing to educate you. So my financial planner would simply say, oh yeah, just send me the money. So for example, in 2017, when I got divorced and I came into a lump sum, about $30 to $35,000 lump sum, the financial planner said, okay, great. Yes, send me that and I'll invest it for you. And I said, well, hold on, wait a minute. What are you going to invest it in? Because I think based on everything I've been through, I really need to know where the money is going. How does investing work? And he gave me a short answer, just enough to hold me off, just enough for me to say, okay, but not the details. And I wanted the details. I wanted to learn how investing works, because how else was I supposed to teach my children how investing works? Can you relate? If you don't know, how can you teach your children, your nieces, your nephews, your friends, your family, so that they also can become financially independent? And he just wasn't giving me what I needed. So, feeling alone and stuck, I decided to go at it on my own. And I did. But unfortunately, the financial planner had some choice words for me, which was, you'll be back. They always do. And I felt so disrespected. Now, mind you, I have a PhD in analytics. So numbers are kind of my thing. I had just never taken the time to learn it. And even if you don't have a PhD, you really can learn this information. All right. So I wanted to talk to you more about if you need a financial advisor. So if you feel that you don't want to take the risk of actually making the investments yourself, then you can hire a certified fiduciary planner. And there are many great financial advisors out there, and they will gladly invest the money for you. Again, make sure that you know what's going on, because you need to be able to share with your family and friends how they could possibly access the money if they need to. When you pass on what they should do with the money, how they should continue to invest it, right? You don't want them to just cash it out and spend it. You want that money to continue to make money. If you haven't watched my free masterclass, Earnings on Earnings, How Compound Interest Works, please get that. I'll make sure to put that in the link below somewhere. All right, so back to it. Let's talk about a little bit more about my journey as the unlikely achiever. I grew up with very little. I didn't grow up with my parents. I moved around from family member to family member, and life was tough. All right. So I know what that is like to just not have really anything. And so when I went to college, I thought, wow, I've made it. I have a salary. I'm working for a Fortune 100 company. I have money coming in every month. Life is great. But I wasn't really taking serious the fact that I needed to be investing for the long term, because I didn't know any better. Well, guess what? Now you know better. Okay. So you know, whoever you are listening right now, you have to invest your money in something that is going to provide returns in the long run. Now, financial independence is something that I have worked towards. I'm always going to be working towards that. Even though I've become financially independent, I want to continue to grow my money. Most people do. Can you relate? If you do, you're probably wondering, how fast can I reach financial independence? Well, that is good to know. Again, a financial advisor could do it for you, but you also can do this yourself. So here's kind of how financial independence works. You're going to build this nest egg, as I like to call it, of money, this lump sum of money that is in some type of investment that continues to make money. The stock market on average has made 6 to 7% over all time. Okay, all time. Now, if you can take about 4% of that a year to live on, then you can be what we call financially independent if that nest egg has enough so that when you take that 4%, you're not really touching the principal. So let's say, for example, you need $40,000 to live on. Many people live on $40,000, okay? My expenses are less than $40,000 a year. So remember, expenses is what you need to live, all right? So how important is it for you not to have a job? So think about it like that. So if you don't have to have a job, can you live on $40,000 a year? You probably could. Because then that gives you room and opportunity to do things you love, and you likely will find ways to make more money anyway. So anyway, I digress. Let's say you need $40,000. Well, multiply that by 25 to get your lump sum. If you multiply 40,000 by 25, you're going to get $1 million. If you have $1 million and the stock market is making an average of 6 to 7% and you're taking just 4% off, then you can take $40,000 a year and your nest egg won't really adjust very much. That's on average. Now, of course, every year the stock market is not 6 or 7%. Some years the stock market is up 30%. Some years is down 30%, right? So it varies. But even in 2020 COVID, the stock market was up, I believe it was 18%. The past few years, we've had a really good run. Even the year of 2021, stock market has been up around 20%. When I say stock market, I'm usually talking about the S&P 500. So you definitely want to keep in mind that some years it's up, some years it's down, but one way or the other, over time, it's making money. Let me give you the exact returns. So 2020, the S&P 500 was up 18.4%. 2019, the S&P 500 had growth of 31.5%. 2018, the S&P 500 was down about 4.5%. So you do have some negative years in there as well. But keep that in mind that you also have some positive years. Now, if your head is swimming and you're wondering about the stock market, that's where I can really help you. I'm an educator. I am a professor. Numbers are my thing, and I love breaking things down in such an easy to understand way. So please definitely on my website, get the free tools that I have, and consider joining my Wealthy Achiever VIP 4-week program where we do it together. I'll walk you through each of the steps of my financial freedom program, and we meet once a week live. If you can't do that, we'll also have some options for where you can just enroll in the On Your Own course and watch the videos as necessary. Okay, now back to it. Now you kind of understand FIRE, which is being financially independent. You understand your nest egg of needing about 25 times your living expenses. And you understand that if you withdraw around 4% annually, your nest egg should last around 30 years or more. That's based on something called the Trinity Study. And you're welcome to please go look that up. A group of professors at Trinity University studied the stock market and returns and how long a lump sum would last. And so they have these different success rates, and you can read all about that in their study. All right, so I did all of my investing without the financial planner. I created my own brokerage account. I learned about stocks, index funds, how the stock market works, and I decided what was best for me. And it paid off. Within 4 years, I had accumulated $750,000. And now let me tell you, because I know you'll probably wonder, yeah, but Dr. Keisha, you're a professor. You're probably making $200,000 a year. No, I was not making $200,000 a year. At the very end, I was making in the six figures, low six figures, but that was at the very end, right before I retired. Now, mind you, over my 19 years of working, my average salary was $77,000. I actually went and calculated it for every year. From when I graduated undergrad until I retired, my average salary was $77,000 a year. So hopefully that gives you some comfort in knowing that it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much money you save and invest. Remember those numbers that I just quoted off to you about the stock market growth? You got to get in on that. All right. So I know this may sound scary. If you've never invested before, you may be thinking, oh, I could lose my money. I don't want to take the risk. Well, get educated. All right. So positive affirmations, learning how it works, doing some documentation on your own in terms of what you have. What is your starting point, where you are in terms of debt? Where are you in terms of your savings, emergency funds? Does your workplace offer retirement accounts? Are you taking advantage of those? So these are all the things that I will ask you throughout the different programs that I have to help you get on your way. So you're probably asking, how do I get started? Well, the very first thing is you have to have a budget. So if you don't have a good budget, definitely you can get my budget bestie from my website, from the blog, and start using that. All right, because that's going to, first of all, it's automatic. So you're going to plug in all of your expenses, and then it's going to tell you how much you have left to save or invest. Well, if there's nothing left, then we got to go back to the top and start working out where we can cut expenses. All right. But don't worry, I'll help you through it all. You need someone who can go through it with you and help you step by step. And I am more than happy to do that. All right. So, do you need a financial advisor? That question is really up to you. But even if you think you need one, you still have to be responsible for your own education. You still need to know how the stock market works, how passive income works, how compound interest works, and how long it'll take you to retire. How much money do you need to live on? These are questions you got to answer for yourself before you can expect anyone else to invest your money for you. So I hope this was helpful. Please leave comments. Follow my channel for more information. And don't forget that I was the unlikely achiever and now I am the wealthy achiever, and you can be the same.